Hello, you can do the song before we get into the ad.
Actually, it's a Tide ad.
It's a Tide ad.
This whole thing's about a big
Dilly
Tide
dilly.
Oh, it's not actually our
pretty
live stream. It's a Tide ad. Get it? Because our clothes are clean. Everything's a Tide ad.
Yeah.
Bum,
Tide ad.
bum, bum, bum. Fly, eagles, fly. On the road to victory. Fly,
8 streaming, 4
eagles,
streaming.
fly.
We've lost the whole.
Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our eagles fly.
If you're in the chat,
Fly, eagles,
How long is this
fly.
song?
Eagles
On the
fan.
Why
road
did they make the
to
song so long?
victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Super Bowl champs.
We had to give him that one. Anyways,
Frick off, Nick.
before we get started
My heart
talking
Get the
about
frick out of here.
Stop.
before we get started talking about advertisements for an hour straight because of the big game.
I literally didn't watch the game. I just watched the ads on YouTube.
Well, here we go, because we have an advertisement to kick things off, and we want to thank them for sponsoring this show because it's the only reason we can still exist on the internet. So, here we go. Ad, pre-roll ad. Let's do it. Love these companies. Tired of the kids complaining that the Wi-Fi keeps going out? Ugh. Stop those complaints before they start with Milo Wi-Fi's intuitive network. It springs your Wi-Fi signal where it is needed, when it is needed, with system setups that cover up to 2,000 or 4,000 square feet. Get the most out of the Wi-Fi you already pay for. System start at $129. Visit www.milowifi, that's M-I-L-O, wifi.com/ETC, and use discount code ETC to receive 10% off your system today. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about other people's ads.
Woo!
Budweiser, they donated $100,000, and to tell you about it, they spent $5 million on an ad.
Yeah.
And didn't consider for a second that would look really fucking dumb. I love that so much.
Also, don't they...
And the Dodge, what the fuck was Dodge thinking?
Martin Luther Ram.
Speaking of Budweiser, I believe they also owe the entire city of Philadelphia a free beer.
They did it.
Because
put
they
it-
like bet
they-
against the Eagles or something, right?
What?
Yeah, no, they decreed, they wrote it all in whatever weird speaketh
Yeah.
they use. The
So
Eagles,
all that goodwill for
during
nothing.
the parade route, they're lacing people with free Bud Light.
And you know
There's
what?
no way that goes wrong.
The
it's in
president,
the-
the president said, you know what? It's fine. This one time, kids can drink too.
That's it.
It's fine.
He
If, you're-
says-
if you live in Philadelphia, you have to show your Philly ID. That's the only thing is like, even if you're under 21, as long as it says you're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, kids drink free.
Oh man, I
And they-
have a California ID.
They give you a questionnaire, you're like whiz or provolone, and you got to answer correctly.
Yeah, and they just say wit, right?
Whiz-wit. The
Okay.
best way to have it. I showed everyone a picture of what a Philly cheesesteak looks like the other day.
Yeah, it looks disgusting.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not-
I like them.
But here's the
They're
thing.
delicious. Don't
Here's
get me
the
wrong.
thing. When you're 7 deep,
Yeah.
okay, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Again, if you didn't know, when we were in New York for Comic-Con, Nick said, let me get some hot dogs for us, and proceeded to order 10. All the hot dogs. He took all the hot dogs the vendor had, and then he had them back in his room, and we were like, yeah, man, this is too many hot dogs. So I feel like you are qualified, not just when it comes to cheesesteaks, but New York food, street
any
food,
terrible
truck
street food, all that type of stuff.
You're-
I'm the
Anywhere,
guy.
anywhere in the northeast coast area,
Yeah.
you're an expert. How
10
many?
hot
Do you go to
dogs.
like those garbage trucks or whatever they call them there, the trash mobiles? Hey, we
I
got
love that they
you want
call 'em
every
that.
ingredient? We got it on one plate.
Well, that's where I messed up with the hot dogs.
You go across
Because I
the
was like,
bridge
yo,
to
what do you
Rutgers.
guys want? And everyone was like, I want ketchup. I was like, you know what? Put everything on every. That's not what you should do.
give
You
us
should
the
never
garbage
put
plate.
everything on every
garbage plate.
If you
Yeah.
buy 10 to 13 hot dogs,
Head on over to
don't
Rutgers.
get everything on them because it tastes weird.
They tucked him in his bed. There was some leftovers, like they were little Cooper.
We tucked it into Cooper's bed.
Oh, they was Cooper's bed.
Did you get nervous at all towards the end there? That's the only time I started watching.
I was nervous the whole entire game. It was like the most stressful. But my daughter was running around. She had a little Eagles jersey and she had a drum and she would play it when we would sing the Eagles fight song and she would sing along. She was also watching this Justice League 2-part cartoon episode that I kept having to loop on my iPad.
Oh,
and then
like
my
over
wife
here.
was making meatloaf and the house got really hot and I'm just greasy and sweaty, drinking coffee like.
So your wife was cooking. You gave an iPad to your child, and then just so you could just sit down.
I
relax,
didn't sit.
watch
I
the
was
game?
up. We were all back.
You watched it on the main TV.
I watched it
right?
on the main TV this time.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know that we'd talked in the past, and I was like, oh, he's like, you see that game? I was like, yeah, where'd you watch it? He's like, on my phone. I was taking care of my daughter. And I'm like, that's not the hi-fi experience you want when your team's
4K
there.
TV, you play cartoons. My little.
But I will say, every time there was a moment that the Patriots scored, I was like, oh, man. But when the Eagles scored, I was like, this doesn't. Imagine Nick drank like battery acid, and then every score was like 2 Tums. That would like help get that stress down. I figured you were miserable.
Oh, it was miserable. It was. I've always said this: if you know your team is going to win, a close game is awesome. But I would rather a blowout. You ask any fan anywhere, I would rather sit there from the first quarter with my feet up, being like.
Yeah, but that's what happened last year, and then look how it turned out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like you can't.
Hey,
count
pay
out the
attention.
Patriots.
$10. Thank you. Hey, pay attention for the $10 super chat. I'm glad Tom Brady whiffed it.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I am not a.
It's because of his bad haircut.
I'm not an NFL watcher. I don't really give a shit about the sport. But even I fucking hate Tom Brady. There's just something about him. Something about his face.
And his haircut.
And the fact that he's just
his
kind
talent.
he's kind of a fucking idiot. Like, he's good at one thing. He's really fucking good at one thing.
Well, when Dana asked me last night, she was like, why do you hate the Patriots about him? Like, they're easy to hate.
Yeah.
They're cheaters. He has a dumb haircut.
Look. Tom Brady played a lights out game. Tom Brady played insane. Like Chris Collinsworth.
They're cheaters.
He was like making all these. They were like his hand. I'm like. His hand, he's had the best quarterback performance in Super Bowl history. What do you mean his hand?
Yeah, stop with the.
People were like, oh, this guy's injured. I'm like, they scored 38 points. Like, this is not a one-sided game.
The commentators were talking about the Patriots like it was the Harlem Globetrotters. Like, oh, those
He's spinning
Globetrotters,
the ball on his
USA's
finger.
team, Curly's
Yeah.
out there. It's like, stop being Patriots apologists. That's what
Yeah.
frustrates me. It feels so lopsided. Even if it is your team, I mean, there were times
Nick
when I was
Foles is
like,
the backup QB.
Yeah.
And he was the MVP. Like, we lost. All of our captains came out not dressed to play football because they were injured during the coin toss. And they were like, hey, man, what about
what happened? They got
Edelman?
injured
I'm like, you
during
got
the coin toss?
Gronk in the middle. Gronk caught 2 touchdowns, 3
You guys,
touchdowns.
How do you get injured in
How do you
the
get
coin
injured
toss?
during the coin toss?
No. I'm saying they were injured. Like, our captains of the team were injured. They didn't even suit up to play. No, that was
This
old.
must be one of those bitcoins.
Woody
Going right through
Wilson.
my
it
hand.
bit me.
Yeah.
The guy who did
the
flip the
Bitcoin.
coin was great. Woody Wilson. He was like an old World War II vet.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
when they brought that.
It'll
up.
never
we're gonna
beat-
flip the coin now.
It'll never beat when what's his name came out. The guy that was wearing the giant like fur coat and like fucked the whole coin toss up. Some legendary football player. You know who this guy is?
what'd
Joe
he do?
something.
Joe Namath?
Yeah, there he
Oh,
is.
Joe. When
yeah.
Joe was like on the sauce.
I want to kiss you. I'm gonna give you a kiss.
Susie. Oh, that was
Vigilante
great.
Sentinel, $5. YouTube
man.
Red, Super Chat, or Patreon. What's better? I guess we'll find out soon, huh?
Red
Anyways,
tube.
let's get into the. Well, we already talked about the ads a little bit. We can elaborate a little bit more on this. Here's the thing: the Dodge ad, imagery-wise, really strong American message there.
Yeah.
3/4 of it was beautiful, and then it takes a turn.
It was using a dead person to sell any product.
A civil rights
A
hero.
civil rights hero. But
To
in
sell
general,
cars
a dead person to sell products, not really a good image. Didn't they have it like Fred Astaire dancing with a Hoover at some point?
Oh, boy.
Like, it's
I mean, that one at least makes sense. He's a dancer. He's a.
Yeah, but you don't dance with a fucking vacuum.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King.
They
He was
should've
like,
put
if
Martin
I
Luther
only
King by
had
the
more
wheel."
time to sell more cars.
Like they were
That
using
was-
was
Audrey
civil rights
Hepburn.
and selling
Yeah.
cars.
So dead people have been used in a lot of commercials. Martin Luther King, though, that's like next level.
If they would have done it,
Yeah, he also
he
walked
should
a
have
lot.
been driving the truck into the police that
Yeah.
had the hoses.
I mean, it's like
don't
I think
agree
only
with
one
that at
step
all.
below like having literal Jesus driving a fucking Dodge.
Yeah.
Like,
It was very tone deaf, and like that's another one of those things where you're like, how many people did this go through when they were like, yep.
That's the
up.
question.
What was the Coke flavored Coke where the girl was just dancing goofily for the
Oh,
entire...
Kylie Jenner?
No,
No,
it's just some
It was
rando.
it was just some. I was like, that's ballsy to me that you just cast some probably no-name female improv comedian,
Yeah.
and she drank a flavored Coke and just danced goofily for your 30-minute spot, and I was like, wow.
30 minute?
30
30
seconds. Sorry.
Yeah, it was very expensive.
$7 billion.
have a seat.
They were running on ABC for some reason. Yeah, the MLK sound. who at what point, like it was a pitch, but I'm sure people pitch all sorts of crazy shit because
They're like
you're
Samuel L.
competing.
Jackson.
They're competing against everything, so it's like you got to make a splash. But then we also have to have something conservative in case the client doesn't like it. But this one, Dodge agreed to it, and then everybody, that agency and company.
I mean, that was the thing, that there's a couple good ads, and I only watched the ads this morning because I didn't watch it at all. I had it on like hey, by the way, bless NBC for allowing you to stream that legally on their website.
Wait, what?
Yeah, NBCSports.com had the HD
Oh, I
stream.
just assumed I couldn't watch it.
No, I had it on. I was playing Doom and just had it on in the side corner and watched it that way.
Oh,
So,
I wish they had
big shout out to NBC
publicized
for
that
more. But anyways,
But I'm gonna
the Tide
poo-poo.
commercial I thought
Sorry.
was great. I
Well,
thought it
the
was,
Tide, it was, yeah, that was fun. It was the thing. What I'm left with watching that though is just like, it's the whole reason they were able to do that is because all of these companies are owned by the same monolithic corporation, like it's like Procter and Gamble or something like that.
It is Procter &
Yeah, and they
Gamble.
own like all that shit, and they're just like, no, it's not an Old Spice ad, it's a Tide ad, because we're all just one big company that owns
we are.
the entire aisle in your
We sell
supermarket.
detergent.
Yeah.
Like, how did that become the thing
Yeah.
as
Dude,
a society
they got so
that we
much
all
money
need?
from kids eating fucking Tide Pods that they were able to buy one of the most expensive Super Bowl ads of all.
Yeah.
It was a minute. It was
And they kept coming back every quarter.
Well,
too.
Yeah.
well, they also did it, I think, too. I was saying to Phil earlier, probably because of the Tide Pod incident, I think they needed to like reestablish that they
I don't think
were
they
a family-friendly, positive
you think of
company.
how
I don't
long-
think they did that with these ads. I don't think there was any kind of like kids are probably like, fuck you, the guy from Stranger Things eats Tide Pods too. What?
Yeah. You think of how long it'd be to
Barbecue
wind
flavored
that
Tide Pods.
fucking helicopter up of getting an ad, pitching an ad, shooting an ad, getting it approved, sending it to the network, and then getting it in. I feel like these wheels were in motion before I had 2 Tide Pods for breakfast.
I do think that the Sales Genie ad is worse than the Martin Luther King.
Did they do a new one this year?
No, but someone was like, I just missed the Sales Genie.
We
ad.
need a sales genie.
I
Oh,
thought
ring ring.
a couple of ad losers were there was like a TurboTax where it's like, don't be scared of doing your taxes.
They've had
the
different
shadow
versions.
monster. They had like a bunch of different monsters. Like it was the shadow under the stairs, and then it was the monster under the bed, and then it was a ghost. They were grating. They made 30 seconds feel like 40 minutes. It was so boring, and I'm like, get out of here. There's no business being in there.
Yeah, there was like I saw the Groupon ad that was pretty good. There was with
Groupon
Tiffany
ad.
Haddish. I had them pulled
I
up.
missed a lot of these.
Ellie's just going to be exhaling.
Yeah, because so like
with his
What
hands
about
up.
that pigeons ad? Oh, wait.
the website or the magazine that is a website, Ad Age. That's,
Oh, Doritos
hey, I was
Blaze.
just reading about articles about like the making of all of them
The
and
go on.
getting the behind the scenes and the making of the Tide ones. Apparently, David Harbour did repeatedly fuck up the shots by saying Tide Pods.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. See, he loves them.
Yeah.
Delicious. Doritos Blaze versus Mountain Dew Ice was great with.
It was weird.
It's a little basic,
Yeah.
but I thought they did some fun stuff with it.
Yeah. It triggered me because it's Doritos, Mountain Dew, owned by Pepsi, lots of flames going by his head. Potentially was
Michael
the
Jackson,
reason
yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Is
True.
Peter Dinklage the new Dorito Pope now?
I think so.
Has he passed it on from Jeff Knightley?
I don't know. I picture him as like one of those people that eats Doritos with chopsticks so they don't get their fingers dirty.
Okay.
A very high class
Or
Dorito
the little
connoisseur.
rubber nubbins.
Yeah, just,
So you're like-
it's the best way to eat them. You fold the bottom of the bag out, you make it like a little bowl that sits up, and you just with chopsticks. It's great.
Classy.
But it is, Morgan Freeman singing Missy Elliott was entertaining. I hated the Alexa one.
That one was a
Yeah.
marathon of a commercial too. I
Yeah.
was like, this is long.
The best part about that was they had to patent tech so that when the TV said Alexa, it didn't trigger everybody's.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So they figured they figured a way of patenting that, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, the ad is like, okay, Gordon Ramsay, all right. You mean you paid a guy who likes money? That's awesome.
I mean, I wish.
How'd you do that?
I would
How'd you
buy
guys
one of
do
those
that?
if it was Gordon Ramsay yelling at me.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first joke in it. Is that
Yeah.
like, he's like, how do you make a grilled cheese sandwich? It's like, you donkey! It's the recipe's in the name.
Yeah, it's great. I love anything that man does.
So, I mean, that was pretty much it for that. We could talk about the trailer.
Actually, wait, can we just pause real quick on the Danny DeVito M&Ms?
Oh, Eminem, that was
That
great.
was cute.
I thought they did a good job with that one.
Did Eric Andres put his face on him?
No, that would have been great
It's
though.
close. Basically, he wishes the Eminem wishes he was human and turns into Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And he keeps asking people to eat him.
And he's still short and bald.
Yeah.
And he gets hit by a truck in a really nice pratfall that's him shooting across it.
Tech 5x5 channel. Have a beer on me. Thanks for the fantastic content. Thank you for the super chat.
Probably not going to be having another beer anytime soon, though, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Cityscape. That was the funniest shit. This guy Cityscape on my Discord Friday night was like, oh, my God, my friend just met Pharrell Williams. And he posted the picture, and it was
that
not
was funny.
Pharrell
Yeah,
Williams.
that was really funny.
And
There's a whole subreddit.
In the chat, I was just like, anybody else pretty sure that's not Pharrell? And like, the whole chat was just roasting him for his friend being an idiot. That was the best thing in Super Bowl.
There's a subreddit r/not-really-famous, and it's just all people on Facebook being like, "Oh my God, I met."
So-and-so.
Like the worst is like people thinking they met Peter Dinklage just because it's a midget.
Oh my
like
God.
it's just repeatedly people are like, "I met Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones."
Bonita Glover, $5. Why do we hate the Patriots so much? Because fuck them. That's why.
Yup.
Thank you.
Yup.
Simple.
Yup.
I like to think that Bonita
Right.
spells fuck wrong every time to not get in trouble.
She does.
The NSA's watching. They don't like swears.
That's how you get through.
Will
the
they censor it? They might
content.
Oh, it's his brother. It was his brother that met Pharrell.
Oh.
That makes it even more personal.
Oh, was there a new Dundee like?
Yeah, but it was the same thing that we watched.
The
on
cast
Friday. It was
trailer
with
or whatever?
Fool,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a.
Oh, it was all. That was awesome because the
They should make
scene
the
when he's
movie.
like, "Isn't that, isn't it? It's not a movie."
Yeah.
It's like you could, Danny McBride is one of the only people that could do that.
could
Like
sell
he
it,
thought
yeah.
he was making. It was
Yeah,
really good.
I enjoyed that.
And Chris
the
Hemsworth
build-up.
was like, "But we had fun though, didn't we?" And he's like, "Well, we did. Okay, it's good."
As far as ads or trailers go, well, let's just talk about
The big one.
Let's just talk about the big one.
Well, there's a couple big ones, but
Red Cup the movie.
the craziest like sort of Netflix
Oh, I thought you were going to
putting
go
their
with Solo. but-
Oh, what? No, we
You had Solo, you had Avengers, you had Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah.
Well, because I want to talk a lot about Cloverfield.
Yeah.
And
I'll also say Solo. They showed like 30 seconds. It was
no, the new one this morning they showed the
right
full one.
at the Super Bowl. They showed a pretty short thing this morning on Good Morning America.
Let's
Your hub for
Dylan,
all
let's
the
pull up
hottest
the
Star Wars action.
Dylan, let's pull up the Star Wars Solo trailer here, and then we'll watch it and give our thoughts on it as well. Let me know when you're rolling with that.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew. You in?
That's yes.
I might be the only person. Who knows what you really are?
What's that?
Get ready.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine. What's that?
Look at that shitty font.
The logo looks really
It's
cheesy.
Solo Cup, yeah.
Get ready.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
So you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
Wow, how long was the
You're
show?
gonna love it. And which branch are you interested in joining?
It-
Oh,
Is
this
this
is
the second one
this is
rolled
the
in?
spot from yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a pilot.
Best in the galaxy.
Just back to back. We're still watching.
We're still watching, guys. Don't
We're
worry.
still watching. So,
We decided to watch both. It's fine.
All right. Let's start maybe with the biggest Star Wars head. Nick, what do you think?
There's things about it that I get excited. I like how Lando looks. I want to see how that plays out. I like Woody Harrelson's character. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. If you didn't have those music cues or Chewbacca, you'd be like, is this Blade Runner 2049? I'm not big on the whole retcon prequels with these characters because, like, my argument is Han Solo's best adventure was that original Star Wars trilogy, and you can't tell me that, no, 20 years prior to that, he was having an even better adventure. Well, not as good, but it's still a good adventure. So I don't know, like, what are the stakes? What's it? What are we risking in that? Because I do think that one of the reasons we all loved Han Solo in A New Hope and then his growth through that trilogy was that he was a villain almost.
He was a scoundrel.
He was a scoundrel. So I don't want to see him be like a nice guy hero. It just doesn't make sense for that.
Is that the trajectory? Nice guy, like smart mouth, who then becomes like a bad guy, but then he's a good guy? Like,
yeah, it's a weird...
It's the same problem that I was screaming at the screen last night. It's the same problem I had with Rogue One, where there are no stakes because it's bumping right up into the backside of the next movie that you've already seen and you know exactly how it starts.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Like, how important can any of these characters be if they didn't make it to the original trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, like, I don't know, it's really starting to get oversaturated for me.
yeah.
Like, even with Rogue One, which I didn't like, it was cool seeing the imagery.
Yeah.
It was comfortable, it was familiar, and like in this one, it's just like a lot. These shots, I would, if this was shown to me in the year 2010, after years of not having a Star Wars, if I was watching that then, I'd be like fucking stoked about it. But we get in a Star Wars movie every year now, and it's like, all right, yeah, okay. It's hard to get excited about it.
Yeah.
I agree with you when you say that when you're watching this, you're like, what is going to be different and exciting other than having a different person play Han Solo?
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see, like I've been saying since this was, we saw the first images, like I'm excited to see how Lando Calrissian's character is,
Fits into
because
the whole
you don't
story.
really know as much about him in the Star
No.
Wars movies. So that's actually sort of interesting. Also, like, do you think, I was saying to Elliot earlier today, like, this is kind of the first movie that they've done where they actually could go meet Jar Jar Binks in the movie, which would be cool, you know? You guys...
They're gonna stop at the pod race and be like,
Boo!
look at that little kid driving.
Isn't that crazy?
You're gonna
a kid
change your
driver?
name someday.
It could be fine.
And there are also shades of the Star Trek reboot that J.J. Abrams did, taking the Captain Kirk character, like,
It
trying to
looks
get,
like the
it's
beginning.
very
Yeah, it looks like
similar.
the beginning when he's blasting Beastie Boys.
Yeah, he's
And
gonna be,
going
riding a
he's
motorcycle
bad
somewhere
guy.
and, like...
He's the bad boy.
You know what's cooler than riding a motorcycle is flying a space...
Hovercycle.
Yeah, yeah.
That Falcon looks real clean though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
clean.
Very clean and fresh.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's not a hunk
They
of
just put the
junk.
side by side on power washing porn.
It's a tie, Dad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at the point where I was with the Marvel Universe in 2013 when Avengers came out, and I was like, wow, that was really great. And now everything after that is going to be downhill, not because the movies are bad, but I'm just a curmudgeon and fucking they feel the same to me. And this here is like, yeah, if you could see the Millennium Falcon once every 10 years, awesome. But you see it once every year now. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's
twice a
over and
year now.
over.
It's going to be,
and it-
figuring out if people actually give a shit about Han Solo before he
Well,
met up with everyone in A New Hope.
I mean, the stories we wanted to see as Star Wars fans, I would say Boba Fett. Everyone wanted to
Yeah,
see a
everyone
Boba
wanted
Fett
Boba,
adventure
yeah.
because we don't know. We know he like fell in the Sarlacc pit, but we don't know what happened in between. I saw some people being like, "Oh, a Yoda movie," like on one of our action figures videos. I was like, "Why would you want to see a Yoda movie?" I just don't know.
A little slow.
Who the man, Yoda
yeah,
man.
bored I would be.
Yeah.
And then when you go to Han Solo, I don't know. It just that character to me doesn't ring out because Han Solo was so much Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And the swagger he brought to that role. I don't think anyone ever said like, wow, the character of Han Solo, I mean, his name is Han Solo. It's pretty on the nose. It was what that actor brought to the role and became a movie star because of it. I don't know.
It kind of looks like bad cosplay.
A little bit, yeah. It's like they tried to, instead of just saying, and that's the other thing. What are you trying to achieve with this movie? I don't know what you're trying to achieve with this. What's the takeaway when I go see this in a theater? Like, is it just a fun adventure? Then why not make a fun adventure in the Star Wars universe
With someone else.
With someone else.
Yeah.
Like, do we need that level of brand recognition?
Yes.
Like, at this point.
I think it's Russian dolls. You can't just have, like, you know how no one wants to make a script that's not something that's already established. But I feel like even in Star Wars, Rogue One kind of fell to that when it's people didn't know about who it was going in. But Solo, it's like not only is Star Wars the brand, but then Han Solo's the brand. So it's familiar enough, like you said, whether it's imagery or whether it's a character. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy was, again, like I feel like modern day, it's a different world. But he goes on set and is like, hope I pull this off. Well, I feel like Harrison Ford was like, yeah, I already did this. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna fucking nail this thing. That's where I think it is.
I can't wait to see the deep fakes community put Harrison Ford's face on Alden Ehrenreich's body.
They need some good press.
They do need a lot of good press over there on deep fakes.
They need to pivot.
Whatever they can do that isn't pornography will be a lot better.
And Nicolas Cage,
Nicolas Cage is Han Solo.
Yes.
We can make it happen.
Was that the upgrade?
They're really scraping the barrel
So
there.
yeah, I mean, that's, I don't think it's going to be good. If I'm putting predictions,
I would say I'm not
predicting
excited
things-
about it, and that I'm cautiously optimistic to be wasting my money seeing it.
I think it'll be a fine movie. I think it'll do I think what the modern Star Wars fan is the modern moviegoer.
Here, I'll toss you a softball. Do you think it'll be better than Black Panther?
No, it's not going to be better than Black Panther. Black Panther's like
Ladies and gentlemen,
doing-
not racist.
Nick Gregorio. Wait, you have a brand new Ram truck though.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Hold on a second.
And you bought it last
Not
night.
saying anything. Not saying anything.
You know, I would have voted for him for a third term. I also own a Dodge Ram.
I can't be racist. I own a Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram. I have black friends.
I do.
I love Black Panther, and I have the Dodge Ram being shipped to me this week.
Anyway, so the other...
You ever be? I feel Nick right now probably feels like one of those guys laying on like a bed of spikes, where every move is painful. Like he has no good
Yeah, if you
moves
lay on it
right
flat,
now.
Nick, you're
from
fine.
what
It's
we've-
just if you put too much pressure
as
on one
as
area.
they're just throwing landmines out, it's like don't move, just don't move.
So the other one, I guess the one that surprised me and got me the most stoked was Netflix dropping the first and only trailer for the Cloverfield Paradox, and then being like, oh, by the way, this is going live as...
Look under your seat.
Look under your seat. Everyone's getting a new movie that you didn't know existed fucking a minute ago, right after the game. And I mean, that was so cool to me because that's just the ultimate example of what a streaming platform can do that the mainstream film industry that we've had for over 100 years can't fucking do.
It was the best. It was despite what I have to say about the movie.
We can talk about the movie.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But despite all of that, it was the most effective marketing for a movie I've ever seen because everyone wanted to watch it immediately because you could.
Yes.
And because it was a big budget J.J. Abrams produced movie that everyone had now.
And we'll get into how we thought about the movie, but I would say even when you factor in that it might not have been very good, the way they revealed it and pushed it forward gave it more views, more eyes, more publicity than it probably would have been able to ever get as a traditional release.
It's basically like Black Panther blows out Marvel ticket sales records and superhero, and it's every week it's something new. But imagine if they're like, check out this Black Panther movie. By the way, you can have it in 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. People would go apeshit, and that's and again, Cloverfield's not as beloved. It's not as in demand as Black Panther.
And we'll talk about it. We keep playing it up that we're going to talk about it. But even, let's say, for example, the movie wasn't that great. It's still not as bad as it would have been if you had actually gone out to the movie theater and paid for it.
Right.
So it has a little bit of a pass.
It didn't cost me a cent.
You know what?
So.
One extra star on top for not having to leave the house.
I think it was the best programming for the sports baller crowd.
Yeah.
That were like just watching the Super Bowl for the ads.
Fuck
or
it, let's watch a movie
Fuck
afterwards.
it, let's watch a movie afterwards. Yeah.
And what's not This Is Us, which NBC was like, here you go. All the dudes are like, you can have This Is Us. I'm gonna go watch something.
We're gonna go watch Cloverfield.
So was it good?
We'll get to it.
Steven
Let's get into our-
Jawahar,
Yeah.
100 rupees. Awesome content, guys. Keep it coming. Thank you, Steven. Nathan Anderson, 25 American dollars.
Nathan, thank you so much.
Keep
Nathan,
up the
for
great
you.
content, guys. Love the show. Thank you, Nathan.
And Twitch chat, we do see you as well. Big Chav, Mentoto, Poles, Kirk Lazarus, Cityscape, Los Pepes Malos, Jacob. Yes, I did go to the Kings game. It was wonderful.
fell?
I didn't. It was a pratfall.
Chevy Chase. over
Really
here.
quick, we have another sponsor for this week's episode. We're very happy to have them, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. You know what, Elliot? You start the read on this one. Here you go.
Folks, Valentine's Day is fast approaching.
Put the sponsored thing up.
We are willing to bet that you haven't even started thinking about what you're going to do and what you're going to get for that special person in your life. But you know what? That's okay, because we have a hot tip. Hot tip for you that'll cover all your bases. Sherry's Berries and Pro Flowers have teamed up to help you really impress your Valentine this year with their perfectly paired collection. Go ahead and think inside the box this Valentine's Day, because this really is a one-of-a-kind gift. Your dipped strawberries and flowers will arrive together in a beautiful, specially designed box that will keep your berries cold and your flowers fresh, guaranteed. One's decorative, one's edible, and right now our viewers can save 20% on any one of their perfectly paired combinations or any other gift over $29 with the promo code MSL. I don't know what that stands for.
It's
but
in the description if you need to use it. We actually got our gift box sent here. And you know what? For the Valentine's thing, I pretended that Elliot got it for me because he never gets me anything. And boy, was I surprised. The flowers were fresh, the berries were plump and juicy, and our love life has never been better. So hurry and order today, because like we said, Valentine's Day, guys, it's coming up real quick. And there's only one way that you can get 20% off a perfectly paired gift over $29, featuring freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries and beautiful blooms from Pro Flowers.
They're blooming.
Beautiful blooms from Pro Flowers.
Put your nose in it.
Visit berries.com, that's BERRIES.com today. Enter our code MSL at checkout, berries.com, promo code MSL. Thank you, Sherry's Berries and Pro Flowers. Now, we're going to talk about Cloverfield, and Dylan, can you run the Cloverfield trailer really quick for us?
I have to be quick. Whatever you're doing right now, stop. Go to your children right now. Kiss them. Hold them for as long as you can. That's all there is. Right now.
They use a lot of footage from the OG.
Yeah. It was supposed to be the prequel.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
Tonight!
Tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight!
that is-
What? Oh my God!
That is ballsy.
I didn't
ballsy.
have plans for after the game, and now I know what I'm doing. I'm watching Cloverfield.
I didn't watch the movie, so I'm gonna go get a drink, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. So you have 2 minutes to talk about this.
Yeah, so if you're watching now and you haven't
You guys
watched
want
Oh, I
anything
haven't
in the
watched
chat?
the
You guys
movie
want
either.
anything?
You haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh, you fucks. All right, well, we'll try to not get spoilery
No,
with it.
unfortunately, I was trying to enjoy the Super Bowl win.
We'll try to not get spoilery at first,
I'll
but
say this. It had a lot of parts that I thought were really clever, original, sci-fi kind of body horror ideas. It had a lot of really interesting, fun ideas thrown into. It was like it's like, let's say you're making a soup, and you got your favorite ingredients, and they're all going in there, but then there's just a bunch of other stuff that probably shouldn't be in there at all.
Yeah.
And kind of just overall just takes the whole quality level down with it.
yes, it had a lot of promising ideas that the film for me never really went to a length of quality with any of the points they were trying to make. It kind of like they had a lot of like loose ends that they just let hang off.
Some
and
very loose ends.
a lot of pointless scenes and things.
They,
that- It was like Event Horizon. It was Event Horizon.
it was, yeah. So like a lot of it's centered on like the whole idea of multiverses and stuff like that, and I thought that was
thought
cool.
that was cool.
And
Yeah,
they
I heard
and they
that.
you know, and with an idea like that, for at least most of the movie, I was like, the fact that they're just using that as the explanation for why various weird things are happening out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. That's cool. Like,
Yeah.
sure, it's the perfect excuse for just like shit that's completely bonkers to happen, but it.
About everything that happened up till 45 minutes in, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a really good movie. Like, I'm really excited. Like,
Yeah.
the tension's building. This is great. And then the last half of the movie, I was like, why? Every decision, why? Everything that happened, why? Josh Fetzer, he had a great comment earlier talking
Yeah.
about what he thought about the movie, and he just put basically everything on Earth should have been cut. Well,
Yes.
funny you should say that,
Yeah.
because everything that was on
That
Earth
wasn't
in the
supposed to be in the movie.
Wasn't originally in the movie. It was all shot 2 years later and crammed in.
So the whole thing that's interesting about the Cloverfield franchise that is a total double-edged sword is basically this movie and 10 Cloverfield Lane were never intended to be part of a larger storyline. The scripts were sold. In, I think, both cases, filming had commenced.
Yeah.
And then Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams found out about it and were like, we're going to throw another $20 million at this. Also, you're going to have to add a whole bunch of things to it to sort of make it work
To
for this thing that it was
retrofit it,
originally
yeah.
not at all designed to be part of. 10 Cloverfield Lane for me.
Great movie.
90% of the way, I
Yeah.
loved it. The end, I was like, okay, this feels really tacked on. And that's because it was literally tacked on months
Did you guys
later.
see 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
It's a great movie up until the last 10 minutes where you're like, oh, if the movie would have ended 5 minutes ago, it would have been one of the greatest thrillers in the past couple of
Claustrophobic,
years.
like, there's a lot.
And then at the end, you're just like, fuck, you know what, me as a person, I'm gonna block that out.
Yeah.
And this is hard. It's harder to block out because it's woven through the entire thing.
Yeah,
In a
and-
way that feels very unnatural.
And so, yeah, the Earth stuff, first of all, none of that ever went anywhere. But second of all, what pissed me off the most is they put no money into that entire side of the plot. Like, it was literally all like close-ups and mediums. Like
the spaceship
just, like,
stuff looked great.
Yeah, the spaceship stuff looked great, and then down on Earth, it's like I'm meant to believe that all hell is breaking loose, and they are not showing me any of that.
Yeah.
Like, at all. It's just like close-up shots of a guy
Yeah, and-
driving, and no one else is on the road, and the background is completely out of focus. It's
also the
like,
fucking-
show me something. God damn it.
Also, the fact that I was very confused the entire time because half of the shit that was going on Earth was a result of wars started because of the other thing, and then the other half, like, I was like, oh, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, these people got tired of waiting for the energy beam, so they just went to fucking war with each other. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, no, it's not war. It's actually a giant monster that's crushing everything. And you're like, what the?
Cool.
I will
So
say
wait,
this.
I'll ask this because I have a different. I do weight my Netflix viewing experiences a little bit differently than a theater, like when I go to the theater. If you sit down and watch it, you're like, oh, that was worth the watch, or was it not worth the watch?
You should watch it.
Like I said, it had a lot of cool shit in it. I'm glad I
Like Bright, I thought was worth the watch. I wasn't like
I still haven't seen it.
I wasn't like, oh, I wish I got that time back. I thought it had its mistakes, but I thought a lot of the mistakes were in the script.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this is a problem of like
This
again,
is
I mean,
one of the
this is
messiest
Hollywood's
So it's like
newest fallback is like, let's just fix it with VFX and actors and shoot stuff, but their original script seemed to be broken, or at least the formula they're using for the script,
Yeah.
the structure.
There was
is
also
broken.
like the one part where in one of the deaths, okay, spoiler alert, there are deaths in this movie.
People die.
In one of the deaths, like immediately people online were like, well, that's not how chemicals work. The scene where someone gets locked in a thing and it's filling up,
yeah.
yeah, it would be the opposite. It would boil.
turn you into the Joker.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, there was so many parts where I was like, cool, if they had just like focused on this thing to do, or focused on this thing to do, it was just, it was all over the place. And it was one of those movies where in a so bad it's good horror movie, you look at the decisions that someone's making and you go, wow, they're making every decision comically wrong.
Yeah.
But that's in a so bad it's good
Right.
horror movie. This was happening in what was, I think this movie thought it was way smarter than it was.
Yes. But then, yeah, it
Because it makes you feel
Isn't that
dumb for
all
being
modern
confused.
sci-fi though?
It makes you feel dumb for being confused, but usually there's a payoff.
even Arrival, which was one of my favorite movies. I'm like, you're not that smart. This isn't that smart.
This makes Arrival look like a Harvard law graduate. Because there's movies that are confusing and you're like, oh, at the end you're like, they got me.
Yeah.
And this one you're
Yeah.
just like, no, this was just bad. Like,
Got it.
there was
Fair
a
rating.
lot of lines of dialogue that were shit that you would never fucking say unless you were like directly addressing someone in the audience to be like, yeah, we shot this weird and it's confusing and unclear what we're doing right now.
so we're gonna tell you exactly.
I am going to
what's
say out loud exactly what I am doing right now.
Oh boy.
Like, there was one line that was literally like, no, we have to fix the ship. So yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and there was like so many there's a lot of, I mean, obviously you're gonna have suspension of disbelief in a sci-fi horror monster movie. That's the other thing. This was too much of a movie. There was too many different things going on. It's a sci-fi thriller horror monster drama comedy movie.
Wait, comedy?
And, yeah, Chris O'Dowd's character is really funny in it.
Yeah.
He was a great addition.
was great.
Yeah.
The tonal.
All right, you guys definitely threw, I think, both of
Yeah,
us
it
for a
seems like
loop
kind
there.
of
I was
a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
Oh,
no, the movie will do the same thing, but you'll
Yeah.
be confused instead of.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yes, Gaz Blackheart, I understand that, but I'm trying not to spoil everything. Believe me, we understand what happened. We're trying our best not to spoil the biggest parts of the movie. Anyways,
I will
Mike,
say-
thank you for the 20 Swedish kroners that are all for me,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
for anyone
Just
else.
for-
Do you have any questions that we can answer? Do you have
Elliot
questions?
buries
I
them
will.
in the
I will say
yard.
this to tag on to 10 Cloverfield Lane. We went to go see it kind of on a whim in the theater late. It was like an 11:30 show or something. Like it was a kind of a mistake to go that late. Jenna fell asleep, probably 15. She's like, "Oh, I love John Goodman." She liked the first movie.
Big John Goodman fan.
Passed out, and I enjoyed the movie until the last 5 minutes, which Elliot talks about, which felt like the opening cutscene of a PS2 game. Like it just felt like the thing, and then it goes, and you're like, and then I expect like SquareSoft to appear in the middle, and then I'm like, oh, I can finally start playing the game.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, just that end part.
This feels like a big budget movie.
Okay.
It really does.
It feels big budget, and then there's moments that feel really low budget, and it's kind of.
That's a bummer.
Dude, that's at Netflix
Yeah.
though. Like you could tell, you're like, oh,
But that's what's another problem with it is so clear which parts were originally filmed and which were.
Are the original parts the strong parts, and then the
Yes.
tacked
Yeah.
on stuff?
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
With all the
It's
time they
such a-
wasted
ugh.
with the crammed in stuff, they could have actually elaborated further on the. There's also
Other
like
stuff?
characters where it's just like. They're not like trying to like pull the wool over your eyes. Like they're not trying to be slick. They're just so blatant about what they're doing that it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, there's
subtlety would be nice.
There's like
Yeah.
there's a twist
good
at
luck
some
with
point
that.
where it's like, yeah, well, no
Yeah,
shit.
Duh. Yeah. It was a movie that thinks it's. That's what I could sum it up as. It's a movie that thinks it's fucking brilliant, like an episode of Black Mirror, and just ends up being kind of a like a soap opera, like weird, like predictable.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of it as an episode of Black Mirror, it's pretty good. If you think of it as the
I
second
wouldn't even-
sequel to a major motion picture,
I think
it's
Black
little
Mirror is
not great.
far more clever than this movie is.
It's more concise for sure.
That's what I kept when I was watching it halfway through. When I started to lose hope, I was losing hope that there was going to be some aha moment where everything had a clear vision for the audience, for the film, and said something, like some kind of like wow moment of oh, that's a take on society, or that's a take on
Yeah.
this or that, and there just wasn't really that.
I mean, when you're dealing with the idea of multiverses colliding and shit, like there's a lot of things you can do with that.
There's
They
not
did a
really
lot of cool
rules,
things, but
but-
not nearly enough.
yeah.
How about all the there's a lot of multiverse stuff going on nowadays.
It's just
right?
as easy, I think.
It's just, is it like
Sci-fi's in
part of the
comics, I
zeitgeist
think-
is of it, because comics started it, DC in particular, with a lot of multiverses. Then Marvel started doing the multiverses. Now we're seeing a lot. That theme plays out a lot now in big budget.
Yeah.
I mean, to go back to what you were
Is
saying
that-
about Netflix.
do you think the Illuminati's finally going to tell us?
Taco
Okay,
Bell.
That's what I was.
They're
I think a
telling
lot
us
of
if true.
companies use the
Taco Bell.
multiverse because they want to have more movies, and it's a great excuse to like have things not happen.
Yeah, because Star Trek did a multiverse too.
Yeah, well, it's just like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if this person was still alive? Well, they are in another dimension.
Yeah, that other dimension where I'm famous.
Really
that
quick, we have to get to this because Henty Sage dropped $100.
Wow.
Bravo.
Henty Sage, thank you very much. Here's to 0 subs. I'm kind of disappointed and sad this is happening to your channel. Not sure why it is, but alas, I will try to donate when I can. Thanks for entertainment. Thank you, Henty Sage. We really appreciate it. It's people like you who keep the lights on. We answered the super chat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Overall, you should watch it.
I guess it probably sounds like I hated it more than I did.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. It's just it's more disappointing to me when a movie clearly could have been better than it ended up being than it is when a movie's just bad all around. And this is definitely a movie that like
Almost
it was just barely off the mark.
It really-
and it's frustrating how it didn't
really-
work out perfectly.
It really skimmed along the edge of potentially
Being
doing
a
the right
solid
thing and
picture.
being great. Like I'd say like halfway through is where you're like,
Well,
okay, cool, as long as like there's like some thing going on here, and then it's just like
yeah.
it also goes from being like a I feel like it went from being like a very broad scoped effect on society, world, culture, to being very hyper focused and personal, which was also like weird, and decisions were made because of that.
I do think, I don't know, and it's, sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
No, real quick. Let me flip the coin over how we were saying how brilliant this marketing was. What if they knew the movie wasn't going to test well?
That's
So they
exactly.
just-
That's what I was saying. Like they made the best of a situation that otherwise would have probably gone very poorly because you would have had Rotten Tomatoes like a week before the movie's release, just shitting on
Because
it.
that's what happened with Bright, and
Yeah.
people still watched it. I will say, when it comes to expectations with Netflix, obviously with Black Mirror, that brings expectations. Something like Stranger Things Season 2 brings expectations. But Stranger Things Season 1 didn't. And when there's shows that kind of come out of nowhere, again, like I'm sure there were press releases, but like when Lady Dynamite happened, I was like, oh, I like Maria Bamford. I was like, oh shit, this captures her essence. When a lot of these shows come out that you didn't see coming a mile away, they feel like bonuses, and it's that litmus test of should I watch it or shouldn't I watch it, rather than a weighted Netflix experience where you're like, you know what, it's free if you pay your monthly
Right.
fee.
Yeah, that's the thing is what I was saying before is just like it gets an added, if it was a 5 out of 10 movie, it gets a 6 because you get to watch it at
Right.
home with no effort.
Convenience.
Yeah.
It is now on Rotten Tomatoes. There are 38 reviews now currently on Rotten Tomatoes for the Cloverfield Paradox, and it is sitting at a 16%.
See, I again, it's one of those things that really irks me with the aggregate score because a 16% movie to me is a completely broken movie.
It's a Rob Schneider.
It's almost unwatchable. It's a Get Hard. It's a movie that's like
Walk Hard?
offensive. No, the Kevin Hart,
Oh,
Will
yeah.
Ferrell vehicle. A movie that's so offensive and it doesn't even achieve it doesn't make you laugh, and it's offensive. Like this sounds like it was close.
Sounds like a flawed
Yeah,
movie.
it sounds like a flawed movie. Like 16%'s chairman of the board. 16%'s a bargain bin. It's like
That's like
dog
Saw
cop
9.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And you're like, oh, this thing. The issue is that, again, when you look at that, you go, that's a 16% on my social studies test. And it's like, no, 16% of critics said that they give this a movie a thumbs up. While Metacritic on the other side is that here's the percentage on the test. And having the two do it differently, again, it's just confusion in the marketplace.
One of the good reviews. The Cloverfield Paradox is a disjointed but enjoyable sci-fi horror thriller that has mixed success as a shared universe film.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the other one was, it's not a completely bad movie, and I was appropriately scared during the scary scenes and creeped out during the creepy scenes.
Yeah,
I
agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
There were some scary parts. If you liked Sunshine,
Yeah.
or,
It was very similar to Sunshine
Sunshine or Event
in
Horizon.
all the
Okay.
best and worst ways.
Yeah.
That's another movie that just completely like what
like
the
a
fuck?
ghost thing in space, ghost ship in space.
You'll watch it.
Yeah, he'll watch
Yeah,
it.
we'll watch
Don't,
it.
We'll watch it. Another super chat, $5 from Alto Voltage. Logan Paul is back. Is it too soon for him to come back to YouTube?
I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm not gonna put
fine.
any fucking energy or effort into having an opinion on it. He did a really bad, stupid thing.
Didn't he come back as like Jesus or something in his comeback video?
I don't know. He hired a really good PR firm to clean up his image and apologize, and I don't fucking care. It's.
I feel like it's gonna be a big waste of money when he screws up again. But that's
No, but
neither here nor there.
I think I think we're old. I think we're too old for this. It reminds me of when we were in C2K or whatever, the band Margera that eventually became
CKY?
CKY, whatever fucking nonsense.
C2K.
They were
CKY
from my
2K.
area too, and or Tom Green. And we didn't care if they did offensive stuff when we were teenagers. I wasn't like, man, Tom Green needs to reel it in and
He's gonna
respect
stop
people.
showing up at birthday parties dressed as a Nazi. Or
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh,
Remember that?
Wasn't that just a rumor though?
Maybe it was.
I don't think
but-
that ever
but
actually
that's-
happened.
But
But
that's
what, like,
the thing.
you know, like-
Snopes it.
We were never like, hey guys, you need to reel it back. Like, I'm sure his fans that are high school boys and girls that have crushes on him think everything he's doing is awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like, can't wait for you to come back and throw a squid leg on the hood of someone's car in Japan again, because that was funny shit. We're just old. We're old guys, and we have a lot of perspective on the world, and we've seen some shit. And
As a college freshman, I have to disagree. I'm on the University of Phoenix.
Kakoa,
Trying.
you guys are awesome. Love everything you guys do. Thank you, Kakoa. Matt Solomon, $20.
Cha-ching.
Been watching you guys
Boom.
since the beginning. Love your content. Thank you, Matt Solomon.
Thank you.
Yeah. So and then there was the Avengers trailer. That came out on like Friday, didn't it? Or was there a different kind of take during the Super Bowl or no?
Yeah,
There
it
was
was
Jurassic
just-
World, another one I don't
Jurassic
really like.
World on it.
Jurassic. I mean, the Super Bowl trailer for Jurassic World, I felt more positively about than everything they've
Running from the
released
volcano?
up to this so far. But it's still, I just don't feel any strong desire to see
Here's
it.
the thing.
It's very comped.
There's going to be dinosaurs. There's going to be problems in a
Yeah.
way where it's like maybe you can avoid it, but like with Infinity War or something, you go, hey, these are characters I like. I want to see them fight. But this one, I was like, yeah, they're going to be in the ball again. Oh, they're doing the ball again. Okay. It just felt like a direct-to-DVD sequel. That's what it looked like to me. Or that's the emotion here that it kicked up. But
There was also The Rock's new movie, which I can only assume.
Skyscraper, and so it's Die Hard but he's got one leg.
Yeah.
Dude,
okay.
what-
And
Wasn't
apparently that leg
hilarious?
is like a big factor. Like he gets stuck and it's like,
Oh, my leg.
My leg. I
I
don't know.
think the best part was I'm live from the top of this skyscraper. I'm like, no, you're not. This is a composited shot. Like they went out of their way to be like, I'm standing on a skyscraper to let you know.
Also,
and then
we
they did an
literally-
impossible camera move.
oh yeah, that was.
I was like, you're on a soundstage with a green screen. This is kind of funny because he played it like in earnest. Like,
Do you think,
I'm on the top of a skyscraper to let you know if you're
Do you think Dwayne is oversaturating his brand? 'Cause he's in like 5 movies a year.
No,
for the
because he
last,
sells
like,
junk
3 years.
food, and you can never oversaturate the market if you sell junk food.
I don't know. I mean, like
That's what he does.
even with like
I
Tom
would
Cruise
say-
was making like 5 movies a year for a while there, and like he's still pulling in the big bucks. But like, look at him and look at like Johnny Depp, and every time an actor just like is in way too many movies and making way too much money, like it fucking dips.
Here's the difference. The Rock isn't an actor. The Rock is a personality. Tom Cruise considers himself like an actor. Johnny Depp really considers himself an actor. So I think for them, they're not managing it properly. The Rock is doing I think this is his game plan. It's that oversaturation. It's as long as I'm everywhere and I'm on the tip of your tongue, people won't get tired of me.
Why wouldn't I be in every movie when they're paying me this much money?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
like The Rock can make fun of himself. The Rock could be like, I'm doing a movie where I have a prosthetic leg and I'm standing on top of a skyscraper. Like, that's insane. That's like
No. Oh no! I hope it's hooked in properly.
No, but him just standing there, I'm like, this is a crazy. I'm live from the top of a skyscraper. I was like, no, you're not. What am I doing? Like, he was in Jumanji. He was
Well, that's
if
what I
they
was gonna
made
say.
Big Mac the movie, he'd be like, a Big Mac, we have to save it, and like he would go
After-
rescue a burger if it meant.
After Baywatch, I would have been like, oh man, that is rough. Like, I can't believe it. Oh, now he's doing Jumanji. Oh no, it's gonna like his career might be over soon. And then Jumanji becomes like one of the biggest movies of
Yeah.
the entire year, and it's like,
You keep throwing shit at the wall and
yeah.
something sticks. And like he has ballers.
Yeah.
He's covering every base. He's like, oh, older bro dudes got you covered with ballers. Oh, young kids, I'm doing YouTube stuff.
Also, I'm the biggest
doing-
star of Fast and Furious. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
And
Rampage
feel like
is coming out. What's up, stoners? It's 420, right? Wink, wink. Like we're just having fun, guys.
And he can go back and do cameos. And he went back to WWE a few years ago, right? And was straight up wrestling. And it was just like, oh, like nobody can like Brock Lesnar's not gonna like he'll have a weird movie career where he does like a horror movie or something and like.
Do you remember
goes
when
away.
the WWF was producing horror movies?
Yes.
I think that
That was wild. There was a while where they did like 4
Wasn't
movies.
Kane.
one?
They
Yeah.
made the. I was like, this is.
It was also that movie like
It was a Kane backstory.
There was
it was
so
like
many of them.
Yeah, there was
what
one
they
with,
were-
like, John
what
Cena
Kane
and
was
stuff.
claiming to be in the ring. It was like what Kane does in his off time.
Yeah.
And he kills teenagers with a meat cleaver. Or a
I
hook.
got some super chats really quick to get to. Prince Avalanche DJCU, the Dwayne Johnson Cinematic Universe,
Oh.
There you go.
which is also a multiverse.
Oh wow.
He's the same guy.
I would
in
like
every
to
movie.
see being Dwayne
was one
Johnson,
before
a la
that,
Malkovich, but just with everybody is Dwayne Johnson.
Johnson.
I don't.
I wanna
want-
be
I
at
would
that
be
restaurant.
exhausted by 2
The
hours
Rock,
of
the
his
Rock,
day.
the Rock, the Rock.
2
the
hours
Rock.
of The Rock's day would be exhausting.
Yeah.
Nixand 25, the
He's on his
Westworld
hustle.
trailer with Kanye cover was cool. I didn't see that one.
Westworld,
Yeah.
no, the Westworld trailer was pretty dope.
Westworld is another thing. I like Westworld a lot, but that show also is overly convoluted and thinks it's way smarter than it kind of is. I like it a lot though, and season 2 looks like it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Season 1 was basically like 10 hours leading up to a twist that
Was as
pretty much
obvious.
everyone saw coming like by the second episode, and they were really just like trying to pull the wool over the audience's eyes and shit. It's like, no, we know what you're doing.
It's
you're
that
just
li-
being intentionally just obfuscation. You're just trying to fuck with us.
Yeah, it's that Damien Lindelof like.
Yeah.
It's smart because it omits facts. Like if you don't know, like if you don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, you can't
Yeah.
know the answer to the end of the episode.
True.
Like you're like, I don't know what's.
Rodrigo Romo, $20.
Thanks, man.
The WWE Studios filmography: Scorpion King, The Rundown, Walking Tall, See No Evil, The Marine
See No
with
Evil.
John Cena,
See no
The
evil.
rundown was really
Yeah, I like The
successful.
The
Rundown.
Condemned, 12 Rounds, The Marine 2, Legendary, Knucklehead, The Chaperone.
The Marine 2 starred Ted DiBiase Jr. What? Hold on.
The Chaperone starring Triple H. That's What I Am starring Randy Orton. Inside Out, I'm assuming not the same Inside
Sorry.
Out.
We need to watch all of these.
Yeah.
I had no idea they had such a canon.
The Day, The Barricade, The Marine 3, Homefront, Dead
Are
Man
you
Down.
in the Marine 3?
The Call, No One Lives, 12 Rounds, Christmas Bounty, Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery,
What?
Road to Paloma, Oculus, Leprechaun Origins,
What?
Yeah.
Oh
That
man.
one stars Hornswoggle.
Oculus was actually good.
See No Evil 2, Jingle All the Way 2. That was one with Larry the Cable Guy, right?
Jingle all the way
The
to. I'll
Flintstones and
fire you
WWE
up.
Stone Age SmackDown, Vendetta, The Marine 4, Moving Target.
What?
Is that the one with the Miz? I think
Yeah.
that's the one with the Miz.
Yeah.
12 Rounds 3, Lockdown.
Nice.
The Condemned 2, Santa's Little Helper, Countdown, Term Life, Scooby-Doo and WWE Curse of the Speed Demon.
I would actually watch
Interrogation,
that. That's kind of
Incarnate, Eliminators, Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania. Okay. The Resurrection of Gavin Stone, The Jetsons in WWE, Robo WrestleMania, The Marine 5. What? Battleground.
The Miz starred in that
Okay,
one.
that's
It
the
was
Miz one? All
yeah.
right.
Pure Country, Pure Heart with Shawn Michaels, Armed Response with Seth Rollins, Birth of the Dragon, and then Killing Hasselhoff. Fuck. And it's been going for years. It's
Killing
like
Hasselhoff.
No, I was
30
telling you,
fucking
they
movies.
never stop.
What?
Ken Jeong and David Hasselhoff. The one movie I can vouch for from the past 10 years is Oculus is a good horror movie. I
Yeah,
did not
Oculus is
know.
a good horror movie.
I did not know.
Dude, Vince McMahon taught Donald Trump, taught The Rock, taught Hulk Hogan. He taught them how to be successful. It's the idea of infamy and being everywhere and never saying no. Don't ever say no.
And that's how we got Logan Paul.
And that's how you like. I mean, it is. It's that tech. It's being a circus barker. It's being
Yeah.
a showman.
You're
and a
constantly
showman
selling your show.
You're always selling your show. It doesn't
And your
matter.
show might be you as a person. You're selling your show every single day.
Yes.
Every
You
single
want
day.
tickets to sell.
Yikes.
There's never, and if it doesn't go right, you get up and you try it again. And if you look like an idiot, so what? Someone's paying. There's a rube somewhere
Hey, buddy, you getting
that will
paid?
pay you
You
money.
getting paid?
You getting paid?
Hey, buddy, you getting paid?
Hey, you getting paid?
Hey, bro, you getting paid yet, bro?
I don't know, man. I'm fighting Transformers now. You getting paid?
It's good.
It's good contract.
Mark Wahlberg.
All right, thank you guys very much for joining us today. Before we get out of here, we got to put that sponsor tag back up on the top because we got to thank our sponsors for this episode. A big shout out, first of all, to everyone who sent in some money on the super chats.
Shout out
You.
to
You.
Yeah, thank you guys very, very much for contributing to the channel, especially Henty Sage dropping that one hundo. And anyways, to say goodbye and to thank you to our sponsors today, we're going to end it with, the Milo Wi-Fi, who was kind enough to sponsor the front and back of this video. Also, a big shout out to Sherry's Berries and Pro Flowers for the mid-roll sponsorship. But listen, are you tired of the kids? Elliot, I know you're tired of the kids always complaining that the Wi-Fi keeps going out. Nick, your daughter, always complaining she can't watch the iPad, right?
It's like, Dad, can't watch it.
Anyway, stop those complaints before they start.
Okay.
With Milo Wi-Fi's intuitive network, it springs your Wi-Fi signal where it is needed, when it is needed. With system setups that cover up to 2,000 or 4,000 square feet. Get the most out of the Wi-Fi you already pay for. Systems start at $129, and if you visit milowifi.com/etc and use discount code ETC, you'll receive 10% off your system today.
Boom.
Links and information are in the description below. Paul Cruz, $20.03. P.O. Box, great channel. Keep it up.
Po boys.
Po Boys,
No P.O. box.
no P.O. Box yet. We're looking into the legality of having random people ship us things. Thank you, Paul Cruz, for coming in with that 20 at the end of the episode. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Go check out Twitch. There's Dr.
Go get
Disrespect.
paid.
Dr. Disrespect is out there getting paid right now.
Yeah,
getting
I'm not
all
going to
the
get a
views.
whole lot done today. Thanks,
I think he had
Doc.
300,000
Monday.
views or something.
Hope your Monday's super duper.
And
Hey,
remember,
guys, go Eagles!
don't go Eagles. Football's over now.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.